Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Look at me. Beanie has gotten his revenge. After all the problems we've had, he decided to tie me up, so I can't even do anything. I can't go anywhere. But that's not going to stop me from presenting our latest show. Here is season 2. Of course, it's IQRA Kids TV. It's awesome. Right, you lot. You know we've got new features for you. We've got Muslim maestros. We've got the ABCs of Islam. We've got Nasheed downloads and so much more. So hopefully, when I play it to you now, by the end of the show, hopefully I'll be out of this predicament, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna try my best. Guys, enjoy the show. See you in a minute.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome once again to the Random Art Studio. This is part of our new series talking about animals in the Quran. Well, not talking about them so much, but drawing them. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. There are so many animals, insects, creatures mentioned in the Quran, so I thought it'd be really cool to draw a few of them. Now, in this drawing tutorial, we're gonna go way back to the basics, because I realize sometimes we do go a bit fast. We get a bit carried away because we're enjoying ourselves so much that sometimes I forget that people need to kind of understand the basics. Now, when I say the basics, as far as I'm concerned, the basics are doing just the basic shapes of anything. For example, what is the basic shape of a car? A rectangle, isn't it? Isn't it? It's a rectangle, yeah. What is the basic shape of the earth? A circle, obviously, yeah. Then all the bits and pieces, all the details go inside that circle. That's one thing we're doing. We're also going to be talking about the grid system. Don't worry, I will explain to you what the grid system is. But before I do that, I want to remind you guys, if you want to be in the studio with me, or if you want to send your artwork in, all you have to do is inbox me on our Instagram account, IQRA Kids TV, right? And just send me a little letter, send me a picture of your artwork, whether it's something we've done on the show or elsewhere, it doesn't matter. I want to see your artwork and we'll feature it here, and of course we'll put it on our wall as well. So that's an open invitation for you guys. Right, so we've got our little animal we're going to put on the screen. Ting! There it is. It's going to be a cow. Ooh, look how cute that cow is. Right, I just went online and I found this little cow going moo, moo. It's so cute. All right, I've got it on my phone as well. Let me just increase the brightness so you guys can see it on the telly as well. Right, and we've got it on the screen and we've got it on my phone so I can see, because I can't see it on the screen, you know what I mean? Right, so we're going to continue with this. Now, again, you can see on our picture here, he's sitting inside of a squarish box, and they've divided it into 4 quarters, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So what we have to do in order to utilize the grid system is recreate that box on our page. Now, I'm using A3 paper because it has to be big for telly, but you can use any size paper that you have, or a pad or what have you. Right, we're only using pencils today. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is draw in that box. Now, I know some of you are going to be tempted to grab a ruler and draw a perfectly square box. I'm going to ask you to resist that temptation, okay? Don't do that. I want you to get used to using your hand in a freestyle to draw that box and to divide it into 4, okay? Because I know if it's 20 across, it's going to be 10, then you can draw a line down, and if it's 20 up, it's going to be 10, and you can draw. I know you could do it perfectly with a ruler, but this is not about being perfect with a ruler. This is about you being better just doing freehand drawing. You know what I mean? Right, so we're going to try and just copy, because even on my picture here, those lines, you can see I've just drew them in on the thing on my phone. So I'm going to try and recreate that, recreate it. Right, hopefully you can see that grid on the telly. I need to make those lines a bit darker. Right, can you see that? That is supposed to represent the same box that our cow woo. What kind of sound is a cow? Moo. A mooey sound that this cow is sitting in. Okay, right. Let's have a look at our cow on our picture here. Okay. Now again, similar to something we did before, like we did a lion. The head, we're just going to talk about the basic shape of the head, which is a circle, okay? This is partly why I chose this picture, beside the fact that it looks proper cute, right? Because there's some basic shapes that we can all relate to and inshallah be able to just get our head around and draw on a page. Right, so we're going to look at where the top of the head starts. I'd say in relation to our picture, let me just zoom in here so you guys can see it, exactly what I'm looking at. It's going to be less than halfway. So halfway is about here. I'd say about here. And then it's going to go round, something like that, underneath that line, and go, it's almost exactly half, I'd say, in terms of where his face is, even though his head is slightly tilted a little bit. I'd say it's about halfway, like that. Okay, now I'm putting a lot of sketchy lines in, so that I can get, because I can't just draw a perfect circle straight away. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to feel it out with my 4B pencil, or whatever. It's not got any markings on this pencil. I think it's a 4B pencil, like that. You see, roughly like that, okay? Now use it. Now we're not going to put any details in his nose, his mouth, his teeth, his tongue, his eyes, his horns, I suppose. None of that is going in. For now, we're just going to do the basic shape. Let's look at the rest of his body. Now the rest of his body falls out, halfway is about here and here. So I'd say a quarter of the way, about here, I'd say about a quarter of the way is where the line that he's sitting on, something like that. Yeah, something like that, right? And then his bum goes out like this and down again. And you can see his hoof literally touches that line. Literally touches that line. So we're just going to put a line here to indicate his foot and the back of his leg here. Then we're going to talk about the basic shape of his other feet. Something like that. Okay, you can see I'm not putting any details in yet. I'm just trying to find out where everything sits on the page, where everything's supposed to be. Then once we figure that out, then we can begin to figure out how the other bits and pieces, the other details fit. Okay, and his tail is going to be somewhere like this. Okay, okay, see that? Somewhere like that. Okay, for now, not that high up, maybe about here somewhere. So we've just done the basic shape of his head, the basic shape of his body, and his leg here, and the back of his here, on his back here, and his tail. That's what we're doing for now, okay? So try and get that in there right now, guys. Try and draw that in very quickly, but not too quickly. I want you guys to take your time. Speed is not our friend, okay? Accuracy is what we're trying to achieve here, and just getting our head around the idea of using the grid method. The grid method is something I've used forever since I first started drawing. The grid system is what I've used in order to be able to figure out where things are and put them in the right perspective, and that is something that is very, very, very helpful, especially if you're a beginner like I was. Okay, we're going to continue. That line where his nose goes, I suppose, I'm going to put that line in now. It touches that line here. Ding, 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 right? And it goes up and down like that. Okay? Something like that. It's not, doesn't feel quite right. Okay? Something like that. And then he's got these cow patches that go up and down. And inside of that cow patch is his eye, but let's not worry about that for now. Maybe too high, something like that. But the other patch is not exactly the same. The other patch kind of goes, or that pattern he's got, the grey pattern goes like this. And then it just peaks a little bit here. Just a tiny bit of it there. Let's get rid of some of these lines. We don't need all these lines now. Now that we kind of know this, we've got the shape that we wanted. Okay. Again, I'm using my trusty tissue to rub away these flakes of hair. Okay. Using that run there to do that right now. Okay. Here we go. Here we go, like that. Okay. Let's just leave it at that for now. Okay, so we've got that round bit here. We've got those grey bits of his eyes. We're not going to, well, let's put his eye in here because this, for some reason, I don't know why, when you put a line like that, it indicates that somebody's smiling. Okay, I've seen this technique used on a lot of manga and anime films and cartoons, and when it's upside down, it means they're smiling. Okay, right, so we've done that. Okay, let's look at that. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Right, let's continue with the mouth that goes just under that line and goes up again, and then it goes not too far over, and there's a lovely smile on his face. Oh, I try to always pick the cutest pictures I can, okay? And as this animal does feature in the Quran, I thought, why not get a cute smiley face, right? And that's what we've got here, a cute smiley face of a cow, okay? He hasn't got any teeth, by the way, which is just as well, because they only eat grass, don't they? Right? Not a lot of teeth needed when you're eating grass all day long, right? So I put the mouth in, I put the nose in. They look like teardrops, actually. Okay, you see I put those in there. Look at it. Again, guys, I am going to be making my lines quite dark for now because I want you guys to be able to see it on telly, but I want you to keep your lines nice and light for now, okay? Nice and light. Right, let's go his ear over ear. It's kind of like a weird shape. I can't even describe what kind of a shape that ear is. But it's slightly flopping down, not too much, not droopy floppy, but just sticking out and not sticking up, okay? And then his ear goes like ear, and this one goes ear, okay? I'm sketching it out, I'm trying to figure out where it goes, so putting a few lines in is a good idea. And also, now that we've put in some lines here, I'm gonna use my bit of paper here to rest on, so that when I'm drawing things up here, I'm not smudging the rest here, okay? So you can see I've already started smudging bits here. So I'm going to use this use this piece of paper to just mask and protect the rest of the picture, so that I'm not smudging it with my arm here as we go forward. Okay. Now this cow has got some horns, which is cool. So I'm going to put those horns in like this, like that. It doesn't touch the very top, as you can see. I've not touched the very top. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and it's got a few lines indicating that it's quite cylindrical, okay? And the other horn goes like this. It's quite short, and it goes back this way. Maybe that's a bit too long, And you've got the lines again indicating that it is cylindrical. And it's got a little tuffet of hair that goes down, up, that I'm going to make my tuffet of hair a little bit bigger because it looks so cute, right? That's one of the things I liked about this picture. His little tuffet of hair sticking off of his head like this. And cows do have that little bit of hair on their head as well, so I thought that would be really cool. Okay. So I've made mine a bit bigger. This is where I've taken artistic license to make it a little bit bigger because I like it, right? Right, so we've done the head pretty much. Have I left anything out? The ears, the horns, the tuffet of the hair, pretty much. Let's just increase the darkness of this line here around his side of his head, like that. Bring it down his chin, like that. Okie dokie. Right, let's turn our attention to his body. Now he's got a bell under his neck, which is shaped like a bell basically. And it kind of, see, I've done it in the wrong place. I need to do that again because that bell sits outside. You can see it goes on the outside of his legs like this. This is why you have to pay close attention to where everything is on your drawing, and there's a little bell inside there, okay? And then his leg goes over, then there's a line, then his foot goes out, and his little toes are there, and then his little belly goes here, but his belly doesn't go all the way because his other leg comes in here. There's a line that goes to his other foot, and then here you've got a little toe there, and it goes back under that line here, and that is remember that thing we touched on before? The hoof underneath his foot is there, and then it goes back like that, and then there's that line again there, that gray line there, and there's a little gray patch right on the back of his leg there. And another grey one here, circular, just half a circle, boom, boom, boom. And his arm goes up and down here like this. And there's a little circle bit there. Okay, we're going to shade those circle bits in a minute so they stand out a little bit more. Okay, and this pink bit of his belly is there. Okie dokie. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Right, let me just darken up some of these bits here. Like this. Again, I'm using a fairly dark pencil so that we can see what I'm doing and figure out where I'm going. I've always found that watching people do artwork is so much more informative, I should say, in terms of figuring out why people do the things they do, what choices they made to get the picture to look the way it does. Because sometimes if I'm watching a tutorial on YouTube or somewhere, I'm thinking, oh, wow, he's going to do such and such, he's going to do such and such, and he doesn't, which shows you why that guy is awesome, because he's making decisions with his artwork that we wouldn't make unless we're really experienced and know what we're doing. So that is why you can see how people do things. Watching them do things is a great way to learn. This is why I always insist on having our tutorials kind of not live, but as I'm doing it, all the mistakes you see are right there for you to see, for the whole world to see, okay? And if I correct a mistake, you'll see how I corrected it. And I don't panic and throw it out the window, tear it to a million shreds, and just be done with it and get fed up and go home and sulk, right? That's what I do. I try to just make sure I finish it off as best as possible. Mistakes happen, but you have to learn how to deal with those mistakes. Don't get discouraged and just keep going. If you made a mistake and it's still in the pencil stage, just rub it out and continue, right? As I've been talking, I've been rubbing out some of the additional lines that we put in that I realize we don't actually need, right? Lines under his neck, lines on his legs, line under his chin, all of those lines that I don't think we need, I've just been knocking them out with the rubber and using my tissue to rub away the flakes as well. Right, now I'm going to start shading in some of those gray bits so that we can see the difference. Again, I'm going to try and pick a comfortable angle to shade in. I'm going to try and keep the same angle all the way through for this part of his face, like this. Okay. Like that. Okay, I'm going to make that lines for his eyes a little bit darker. See what I mean? Right, this one I'm going to try and, for this patch of his eye, I'm going to try and keep the same angle. It's difficult because you can see I'm already going over the lines here. It doesn't matter for now. We can rub those out in a minute. Okay, and I can increase the shading of the circle itself and the shading of his eye. Okay, let's put our shading inside of his mouth where it's dark pink, because we're not using colors. We have to use something to differentiate the inside of his mouth from the outside of his mouth and his tongue. So we're just going to shade that in a little bit and increase the outside line a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of shade in his nose. Same angle as everything else. Everything is in the same angle pretty much, right? Now I'm going to shade in his foot here, here like this. Same angle. And this foot here, his paws. Do cows have paws or calves or things? They have something. I'm not quite sure what they are. Trotters. No, that's a pig, isn't it? I don't know. Whatever. Right, so let's continue drawing in these, shading in these cow spots that he has on him. Now, for some reason, which is quite obvious, because this is a drawing, an illustrated, beautiful picture of a cow, but all of these patches are perfectly round. And in real life, they wouldn't be perfectly round, but that's the fun of being able to draw these cutie little things and let them look as cute and as perfect as you like. It's entirely up to you. The person that did this original picture obviously wanted to kind of appeal to kids and make it look nice and cute, and they gave him nice, perfectly round or perfectly cylindrical or circular patches on his body. Right, so you can see there, let's just hold that up so you can see it. Nice one, a nice one, and not bad, not bad. Right, we're not finished yet, guys. We're not finished. Right, what I want to do is put in a few more shady bits, like under his neck, under his head, under his chin here. There is a pink, darker pink line that goes here, like that. Okay, now I'm going to put a shading in, but it's not going to be as dark as what I've done before. Same angle as much as possible, like this. There you go. And I'm going to slightly make the pink bit of his belly here a little bit darker as well. Oh, I messed up. Look, he's got a red collar. I forgot, I didn't say that. Oh my gosh. See, he needs a collar because that's where he hangs the little bell. So if he gets lost, you can hear him tinkering away somewhere in the field, in the pastures, while he's eating his grass and mooing away. So he has to have that bell around his neck that I'm just trying to emphasize now. Okay, let's just make these lines. Now that I'm quite confident where everything is, I'm going to put in these outer lines, the outside lines. I'm making them a little bit darker so it stands out. Still using my pencil to mask and to protect the rest of the picture. Now this tail could go a bit darker as well. Same angle, like that. Okay, we're going to put in some darkness under here, some darkness under here, here and here, like that. Okay, and I'm just going to increase the darkness on these lines around his ears and his horn. Okay, I'm just going to slightly put a shade in here. And his horns are almost white, so not a lot I can do with that. But the ear, look at this, I just noticed something. One ear is white and one is gray. So I can say that they're both gray, and I'm going to put a shading on this one here like that. Okay, there's a little line inside. And I'm going to make this one dark as well because it's supposed to be gray. I think the artist who did this picture, I don't know if you realize that one ear is white and one is gray. Ew, it goes to show. Or maybe it was meant to be that way, I don't know. Right, okay, we're nearly finished. Is there anything I've left out? Nose, there's a butterfly, he's got a little butterfly in front of him, but we're gonna ignore that butterfly for now. Maybe that's why he's laughing his head off. Right, let's have a look at that. I think that's okay. I think we could increase the darkness of this line here, like this a little bit. And under his neck here, his chin, like that. Okay, so yeah, it's not bad. Okay, we could put some shading under here, like this. And it goes up here, like this. And some shading under his leg here, like this. And some shading just under his tail here, like that. Okay, so I think that's another one finished there once again, guys. So you can see how I started using the grid system from the beginning, building up the basic shapes, not doing any details at all until we get a bit more confident figuring out where everything is and planning it. Once we see where everything is, we begin to put those details in and then finish off with a bit more shading. Right, guys, once again, before we leave you for today, I'm going to remind you, if you want to be on the show or if you want to send your artwork in, all you need to do is go to our Instagram account, IQRA Kids TV, and just inbox me your artwork or inbox me your request to be on the show. We'll try and sort you out. It's going to be a lot helpful if you're in London as well. So that's why we're based in South London. So if you can make your way down here, even if you're in Karachi, even if you're in Singapore, even if you're in, I don't know, Madison Square Garden, if you can get over here and be with us, that would be awesome. Right, guys, I've got to go now, but you take care of yourself. Speak to you soon. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Still haven't managed to get myself out of this predicament. He's done some really good knots. I'm telling you, I can barely move. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. We've got a lot more in store for you, so never miss any of our shows. And if you see Beanie, could you tell him to come and untie me, please? Right, guys, take care of yourself. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Right, let's get out of this. Ah! Reason number 7, it was a massive up. Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.